Hey, welcome to Waking Up to Win.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Chad.
And this is your space for real estate motivation, mindset, and the kind of coaching that pushes you from stuck to a top producer.
We are all about helping agents work on their business, not just run ragged in it.
And we believe there is more than enough room at the top for everyone to win. Let's dive in. Hey, Chad.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm
How are you?
also good. I was waiting for you to... You were going to answer or ask me the question, and I could feel it, but then I was like, I'm answering before she's asked.
That is a prime example of not listening to understand. You were just waiting to respond.
I know. I was listening to respond, not listening to understand.
Oh.
You know what happened to me this morning? It's like I wanted to make a post on my social media about it when your business partner is so famous that nobody gives a shit about you. They just ask about them whenever they see you. So I go to Target this morning to grab a couple of things that I need. And I'm going in, and Target has the new thing where they don't do the self-checkouts during certain hours.
Oh,
and so I was forced to go through the checkout line with the real person, which is not my favorite thing to do in stores. But I go through. My shit goes down the conveyor belt. She's ringing it out, and she said hi. What did she say? She said hi. Or she didn't ask me how I was. She said hi. Did you find everything all right? And I said, yeah, I found everything just fine. And then I'm standing there putting my phone number in the pin pad for my Target circle, and she goes. Now, mind you, I haven't even looked at her like serious because it was morning and I don't do mornings. So like could have been Barney standing there checking me out. I have no idea. And then the next question that comes out of her mouth is, how's Miss Annie? And I'm like, I look up. I have no idea who the woman is. She's shorter, blonde, shortcut. I look at her name tag.
Teresa.
Her name's Teresa.
It's Teresa
Yeah.
easily.
I go,
Dance mom.
I'm like, Annie's good. Why the hell is it people? Why in the Target checkout line? I didn't even get asked how my day was going, just how Annie is. I'm like, I'm going to go home and go to bed because nobody cares about me. They just want to know how Annie is.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, that was a compliment to you. You're famous, just so you know.
I'm famous.
Can't even go through Target checkout with nobody cares about poor Chad.
It's not true.
They just only care about
true.
how Annie's doing.
I know, but now that you put the Miss in front of my name, like I feel like that makes me officially old.
Why? That's just what they call dance teachers. She was clearly a dance. I assumed that she was Teresa Easley after I saw the name, although I don't remember meeting her myself ever, so I don't know how she connects.
Her daughter is older than Katie.
Yeah,
so,
I don't.
She probably
I don't know
there.
what is her daughter's name.
Marissa.
Yeah, I know. I was never there when she danced or anything. So how is she connected to us?
I guess because I'm famous.
You are that famous. So that's what I learned this week. You're that famous.
All right.
The influence you have, and you don't even realize it.
Well, let's get this started.
All right,
what do you want to start with?
I think we start every podcast with an inspiration, don't we?
Okay.
Of some sort?
Well, I'm prepared today.
As always. You didn't become famous being not prepared. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I got this one yesterday from our momentum meeting.
Yeah?
My inspirational quote for the week is, your greatest commitment is to your own growth. Honor it by doing what you say you'll do.
That's a good one.
Because so many times we do what we say we'll do for everybody else, but not ourselves. You say you're going to get up and exercise, get up and exercise. You say you're going to eat healthy, eat healthy.
Integrity thing for me. I think that is an identifying core value for me. It strikes at that of people that I generally get along with and work well with. They have that integrity. They don't say they're going to do something and then don't do it.
Right.
Drives me nuts.
Or at least try. I try to do what I say I'm going to do.
Right.
Sometimes we fall short.
Take action.
But don't always put yourself last. I mean, do what you say you're going to do for you. That whole put your own mask on first, that whole thing.
I must have missed the first half of it. Say it again.
Your greatest commitment is to your own growth.
Oh,
Can't show up for other people if you can't show up for yourself
that's the truth.
as your best version. I guess you could still show up all raggedy and tired and disheveled.
Apparently, that's me.
That's not true.
I like it. What is going on in real estate?
So, what's happening in the news this week?
I'm also prepared,
All right.
despite your inference.
No. Maybe. I don't think inference is right either, though.
Yeah, your inference. Like you're inferring that I'm not
Yeah.
prepared.
I was thinking it was insinuating.
Your insinuation.
So, Chad, what's going on in the world of real estate today?
There's so as always, we have market related headlines because despite the fact that you don't care about them, I think that the general public cares about what is happening in the real estate market.
Do tell.
Mortgage rates surged past 7.5%, reaching a new 23-year high.
Wow.
So
That feels like that's the opposite of what you said 2 weeks ago.
yeah, because it is. Well, and this is the part where I know we've beat this dead horse, and I feel like I talk about it all the time, but people still
Is there a sound effect for
don't
this?
hear it. Sure, we'll go with that one. Why not?
I'm never
Everybody
pushing the green one again.
keeps saying the market, the interest rates are going to go down because the Fed dropped their interest rate. And I keep telling people they're not connected. They're two totally different.
That wasn't it either. Right.
Why interest rates are rising right now is because the economy is an unpredictable mess. The government is shut down. The tariffs, we don't know whether they're going to happen or not happen or whatever. Like, and I think, not to get political, but it's Trump's unpredictableness is making the market act really weird. So it's just doing weird things. But anyways,
What else you got?
the second headline, buyer activity plummets as affordability crisis deepens. So interest rates go up. Buyers don't like that. So to your point, it's still even 20-year high is 2000, 7.5%, which is the 23-year high since 2000. They're still not as high as they were in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
By like 3.5, 4 points. So
no, but this is where I want to say this is why you should have bought the house 3 months ago.
it's true. There's not. I mean,
you don't. You're waiting for them to go down, but they might not go down in your. I'm gonna say your lifetime, but buy the house.
I would assume it's a direct response, but mortgage applications hit a low. So that was the second headline. And then the third headline is housing inventory shows a slight seasonal increase. So good. That's a good thing. We need that actually. But it's still overall far below pre-pandemic levels, which are also far below normal levels. So like people don't want to sell their houses. They have houses, they're not selling them.
People want to.
I don't think they do because I think if people wanted to bad
Mm.
enough, they would be selling them en masse.
They're waiting.
Like
Everybody's
right.
They want to. I have a lot of clients that are like, I want to sell my house, but I don't want to buy the next one right now because of interest rates.
Well, and then you couple that with too the sub 4%. We had years where you had free freaking mortgages.
Absolutely.
And so that's why people are bitching at 7.5% because they're used to having 3%. Nobody wants to sell that. Except for me. I did it. But anyways, because it's really irrelevant in the long run.
But you did it all within the same 12 months. So the interest rates really haven't shifted that much for you.
No, but I sold my 3% to move.
True.
A year ago. I mean, at the end of the day, anything below 6 or 7% is you're gonna make it up with appreciation. So it's not costing you money to do it. That's why the 30-year mortgage exists. But fourth headline is rent growth continues to flatten across major U.S. cities. So data released last week. Rapid rent growth seen over the past few years has also completely stalled. mainly due to a supply increase. So builders started building like crazy rental apartment
Out here,
complexes.
it's
It's
crazy.
insanity. I
In
mean, I
St.
think
Charles County, there are, I wonder what that number is. Do you know?
I
How many more
don't,
apartments we have now than we did a decade ago?
but let alone St. Charles County. Let's just go through O'Fallon. In the past
Right.
5 years, there's like that over there on Bryan Road. There's probably 3, 4, 500 apartments that were put up within a square mile of each other. And that's just in one
Right.
intersection. Those complexes are going up. There's like 4 or 5 of them going up. So,
I still don't understand. This is where for me, I know, you want me to react to these stats, but so I need a place for the dance studio for a choreographer who comes in weekly.
mhm.
And so hotel prices are crazy.
Yeah.
So where we used to get inexpensive hotels, so that was the route we went because I need 2 nights a week every week. So went and looked at the streets of St. Charles. A tiny, tiny, tiny 1 bedroom, super cool.
hmm
It's very bougie. The amenities are wonderful, but for that I have to sign a 1 year lease, and it's $1,800.
hmm
So instead, I decided to buy a really nice 2 bedroom, 2 full bath, fully updated condo,
Yeah.
and I'm going to pay less. So I'm still back to paying rent, even with these interest rates. Paying rent is still not cheaper than buying, even if you bought a condo.
Uh,
For that first time home buyer, who are all these people
well, I do
filling
think
these
you're
apartment buildings? Why are they not buying?
so the answer to that, I think, lies in the financial ability to buy. Who's renting the apartments?
Right? I don't know.
I do. I mean, I think I do. It's
Hmm.
millennials, people that are, under 35, 40, somewhere in there.
But I don't believe they couldn't buy some of these
Oh yeah, they can.
$150,000 condos.
You take your ability to come up with down payment cash and your
But
debt
there's
to
programs
income
for that.
ratio. But there's not if you make too much money. There's income caps on those
I
programs.
don't know.
I do. I'm telling you.
But I guess for me, but I'm a buyer's agent. I don't have people calling me to buy these condos that
Because
can't
they
get pre.
can't.
How do they know that? I don't know that they know that. Maybe they don't think they can, or they don't want to
Mm, maybe.
for
It is
whatever
possible
reason.
that they're non-committal also
Mhm.
because of the headlines in the market and stuff like that. But it is difficult to, I mean, your payment is going to be less than renting because you're putting 20% down.
Yeah, only
That's,
because I have to.
can I share the details?
Why are you so crabby?
I'm not. I just,
Oh.
because I think it's a point that you and I go at all the time, and I don't think that you get there all the way. I think that a lot more people can't afford it, and that's why they're not buying, and that's why they're renting, and you discount that often.
I don't discount that is some of the people, but I'm not going to mass that to be all of the people.
Well, of
'Cause
course,
they're
it's not
tr-
all
they're
of the
not
people,
they're not even trying to.
but it's
They're not
the
even seeing if they can.
lion's share of it. It's the
Maybe.
lion's share of the people.
And you know that how?
Well, because they're my friends. They're people my age,
You're
and
not that age anymore. You're a little bit older.
I am that age. I'm mid-30s. A lot of people my age have never owned a home. It's not because they don't want to.
We can just agree to disagree.
No, we can't because I mean, there's statistics to it.
Maybe they can't afford the home that they want to afford, but it doesn't mean they cannot afford a home.
Well, no, I think that it's not, it is less expensive to rent for those people than it is to purchase. The argument that you made was it's less expensive to purchase. And I'm not going to share your particular transaction details, but you're basing that off of your particular transaction. And the fact of the matter is that, yeah, can I share your transaction details? Like your
Oh, I
down
don't care.
payment? Okay, so you're paying $180,000 for that condo, right?
Right.
And you're making 20% down, to your point that you had to make because it's
Mm-hmm.
an investment property for you. So you were able to pull that down payment from somewhere else. But the reason that your payment combined with the condominium association is less than rent is because you're putting 20% down. Most people that age that are renting those condos do not have $36,000 to
No.
put down on a property. So
Agreed.
they're taking an FHA loan or a conventional loan at 3% down, which drives the monthly payment up beyond the rental
I
amount.
don't.
It is
That's what
actually less
that's what
expensive.
I would have to do the math on that
Do you
because
want me to do the math for you real
I've
quick?
done the math and I'm getting double the square footage and an extra bedroom and a bathroom. So if you really wanted to
But it
be a
doesn't matter
homeowner,
if you can't make the payment.
you could bring in a roommate and you could have somebody share that expense.
Potentially.
But I'm paying significantly less than that.
Year mortgage, significantly less than what? 1,700?
Mm-hmm.
What's your payment?
Well, I
With
can't.
taxes, insurance,
The
and
only reason
HOA,
I don't know that is I'm taking out more money from
not going to
somewhere
be
else.
significantly less.
The first time I ran it, it was like $1,300.
30-year mortgage, principal amount of, so if for you, the loan amount would be 80%, so it would be 30,000. So we're 180 minus 36. So that's 144,
Mhm.
right? 144,000.
7.6% interest.
So the principal and interest payment is 1,048 on that. Then you have to add in taxes,
Right.
which in St. Charles County on that condo
$2,000.
a year.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that a month? It's 130 ish.
I think it was $250 for taxes and insurance.
Okay, so you're at 1,248, and then how much is the condo?
The HOA fee,
Mhm.
$225.
Okay, so you're at $1,500.
Right.
The rent
For-
was
for 2 bed, 2 bath.
The rent was
Right.
1,700.
Yes.
So it's not that significantly cheaper. It's $200 a month. Now let's do, so on a 30-year, if you have a normal person putting 3% down, let's say they're highly qualified and can
Yeah.
get a 3% down. So that would take off what, $1,800 off of the mortgage amount? So you're basically doing $178,000 loan?
No, it's more than that. 3 times 18 is 55,000 something, not 1,800. 1% would be
36.
1,800.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so 170,000.
More than 36. That's 2%.
Right.
So 3% down would be.
So I'm gonna do 175,000.
Okay.
So that drives the payment up to $1,270 a month.
And then add the other
But
500.
the $200 difference is gone though. It
But I'm
costs the
gaining
same.
equity, and you have to come up. So you could buy the condo. It may cost you $200 more a month. However, you're building equity. That money that you're paying in the apartment is gone. And so you're investing in your future. And second, to my point, you could rent out the second bedroom if you're a young person who's single or whatever. You could. So it's not
You could rent
that you
out the
can't
second
afford
bedroom,
it. It's that
and
maybe
then
you don't
can
want
do
to.
that. But then also you have the
And I was talking the
other
tiniest.
money. You're talking about $5,000 in a down payment for 3%, but you're also talking about closing costs.
Sure, but we're
which
not
is
we're
gonna be
not talking
$5,000,
20 or
$6,000.
30,000. These are the same people that are driving $50,000, $60,000 cars. They're just choices. They're choices that they're making. And I'm not saying it's wrong.
It is a broad generalization, and I think you're way off base. I think you should.
But your broad generalization is on base.
No.
I just people
I'm
have
just
options.
telling you, when I've had the conversation with those people in that era, that those are the facts. One of them sitting in this room behind the camera.
Sure. And you were there until you decided that you were going to make it work and you bought a house. I mean, you had to, you borrowed a down payment or you did some things to get it, but I mean, you did figure it out because you didn't want to keep renting. They're choices.
Yeah, I was fortunate
But it
enough
wasn't that you
my
couldn't afford it.
family could help me.
Right.
I could not afford it by myself. Would not have been able to afford
Right.
it by myself.
But once you start looking into it, there are ways to do it.
I'm
And
not saying there's not options out there.
And that
My
$1,600
point is that I don't think that those options are available for the majority. You make it seem like the majority of people should buy a house and can buy a house, and they can't. If they haven't bought a house, it's just because they're stupid.
I've never said the majority, and I've never said that they're stupid. What
The
I said is
implication that I
they-
hear.
Well, that's just how you're hearing it. They
Well,
don't know
I'm
what they
hearing
don't
it
know.
That way. Somebody else might be.
But they
hearing
don't
it
know
that
what
way
they
too.
don't know. And that's why people should, if they're even considering it, reach out to a professional and
I
see if you
disagree
qualify.
with you at
Because
all.
and again, the apartment that I was talking about, $1,700 is the least expensive one.
Yeah.
And that's not the ones they're renting the most of. The ones that they're renting the most of down there are like $2,200 a month.
Yeah, because
So,
I think most of those people have more than just themselves too. So like
but
renting out that option is not
but,
an option
but even on the
either.
bougie
But
side, now that I've been looking at condos, I mean, there's some really nice condos out there in the 150, 160 range. So
yeah, condos
right.
are an option for
let's
sure.
move on.
So as far as industry related headlines, Zillow launches a new AI powered tool for agents. So Zillow's for their premier agent partners uses AI to analyze user behavior on the site, allowing it to better predict which consumers are most serious in transacting. And then it provides agents with enhanced lead scoring and communication prompts. They're hoping to improve their conversion rates in this market because I think a lot of people go on Zillow and dream
Well,
about buying a house, and it's hard to
what
tell
I
the
actually
difference.
read about that or heard about that
Mm-hmm.
maybe, because I probably don't read as much as I scroll, was that they have an exclusive. Zillow has an exclusive with ChatGPT.
Oh,
And that's where right now that's where the power move was. So I was like, oh, okay, we're playing chess.
well, yeah, they are. Zillow's been playing chess. I told you.
But I mean,
master
everybody thought they
Zillow's.
were down and out, and it was like, okay, we're back. I mean, now
Yeah.
not that somebody else isn't going to get a partnership somewhere else, but right now, anyone who's on Chat GPT and asking that, they don't even know they're connected to Zillow. And guess what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
They're hooking
Oh,
them up with
yeah.
a realtor who's buying Zillow leads. So
For
that was the power
sure.
move. I thought it was a pretty
It is
slick move,
impressive. Yeah.
but it was a
Knowing,
little
I'm
more
a
than
fan.
AI.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah.
I mean, it was a
the
little more
partnership,
powerful, right? Exclusive.
Yeah. That is cool. That's good to know. CoStar Group begins the integration of their Matterport. So they closed on the purchase of Matterport, and they're bringing that in. This one is interesting. Wholesale real estate practices face increased scrutiny and regulation. So there's several states that have legislation in their books to regulate the practice of wholesaling. Individuals or companies put a property under contract and then sell the contract itself to another buyer without ever taking title. So obviously, trade associations like the National Association of Realtors and those are going to weigh into that. But I find it interesting because I do think that there's a lot of shady shit that goes on in that
world,
business,
yeah,
in that world, in
a lot
that
of
side
shady
of
shit
real
in the
estate.
world in general. But I don't know how you stop all that.
Well, yeah, regulation. I mean, it's a shame that people don't just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But
It's
I
their
know
business
I
model.
mean, I've talked to people that have had their houses wholesaled out from underneath of them. I mean, some of those wholesalers are not great.
Right. Those people exist in every industry, though, don't
Oh,
they? I'm not going to start naming them because that's probably a
yeah, I guess.
lawsuit waiting to happen. But I can think of
guess.
several other.
I just, you and
You're
I have
taking-
had that
you're taking
conversation
advantage of
before
someone
about,
who's down and out
yes,
on their
stop
luck, but-
taking. It's not ethical.
But they're out there everywhere. Whether it's a advance on your paycheck or
they are
selling your family jewelry,
It's true,
and they're taking a bigger chunk than they can because you're desperate. So
I guess I don't know. I just
it'll be interesting if that would actually pass because
having
it's
the
also still.
options.
It's a free country and no one was holding a gun to their head. So I can't imagine that they could stop that.
It is unless they're not being honest. I mean, the right to own property is a constitutional right. So if they're infringing upon the benefits of that right, meaning they're hiding and taking away profit that they really shouldn't be,
Possibly.
then they could for sure. I mean, and at the end of the day, the state can regulate whatever they want.
Our last flip we got because of somebody else being shady.
Yeah, but it wasn't we didn't take that under. We gave them their options.
Right.
I mean, like that was the thing. Making an offer on something is one thing, but then you need to give the benefits of not taking the offer also. Just because I offer you, $5,000, you need to know it's worth $5,500 on the open market. You're paying that premium because you're in a sticky situation.
Well, and this one was, if you remember, this one was different. They were going to pay it, and it was getting the person out of the situation.
Right.
And then 2 days before they were going to do the deal, they said, oh, we're not going to be able to pay you that anymore. So they waited till the person had no more options and said,
Right.
we're going to have to cut that by 30,000.
Right. And that's the kind of crap
That's
that like,
right.
that's the kind of crap that they're regulating out. Like
Right.
that whole,
For sure.
you know.
That needs to be.
And then the last one was Compass and EXP Realty released their third quarter agent count numbers. So they're the two of the largest ones. The report shows a significant slowdown in agent recruiting across the industry compared to previous years. So
Interesting.
not for us. We're at an all-time high here at Realty One Group Trifecta and O'Fallon, but the industry in general, even Compass, which is now the largest brokerage after their acquisition of Anywhere, and then EXP, which is one of the top four, are not growing at the same rate they were previously last year. We're going on the third worst year to be a real estate agent in a row.
It is. It's true.
So, anyways, that's all the headlines for this week.
Right.
That's all I got.
What could possibly go wrong?
What happened to you this week in the real estate business, Anna? Anything interesting? New?
Just
annoying?
Annoying. And I don't like to talk from this place of being annoyed, but it's
I
annoying.
do. It's my favorite.
I know. That's where we differ. Okay.
You go. I'll get riled up about it. Go.
You'll get riled up with me? Okay. Buyer's agents. Stop calling the listing agent and asking if the seller is offering a buyer's broker compensation. Just stop it.
That really, people are still calling you and asking you that?
Yes. And I don't know for you. For me, what it screams is my buyer really doesn't see the value in what I do and they don't want to pay me, but it's the most important thing in my world. So I'm going to call and make sure you're going to pay me before I send you the offer. That's what I hear. And then I'm thinking, why?
Totally could hear that.
So why aren't you asking me if my seller is going to negotiate inspections?
Or a
why
price,
aren't you calling me and seeing if we're going to do the occupant? I mean, all the other contingencies in the contract, you don't give about. But you want to know if you're going to get paid. And I'm like, so then I find myself wanting to educate the other agent, which I try to stop myself from doing that.
Not the time.
Like, okay, so if you're listening to us and you're a buyer's agent,
I cannot believe people are still calling and asking that. That just boggles my mind.
People are still posting it. Not posting it. People are still posting no. Like, why are you even talking about it?
What do you mean by no?
Posting it on Facebook. What are you going to do if the seller side is not offering it? Like, they're still having conversations out there and people are engaging in that. Why are we even talking about it? Why do you want to know what your play is if they're not offering it?
Just utterly baffled that people
still
are still talking
know,
about that. I haven't seen that or heard it
not
myself.
Your side, right? Not your side.
But I also squashed it and put it to bed because it makes more sense the new way.
Right. So I was
those people are just holding on to the past.
I was trying to explain it. I was trying to break it down to this other agent. And I said, listen, let's look at it like this. Offer number one is already out there. That's the list price. So the first thing you're really sending me, I'm going to blow your mind, is a counter offer to what we're asking. Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. So just send it.
I don't know that that's a black and white, right or wrong, but that's definitely a perspective that yes.
So we've already thrown out there, here's how much we want.
Right. Perfect world. No contingencies.
Accept it,
want this.
What we're asking, or send me your offer, which is probably countering something of what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
So send it. But if you call me and I say, nope, not offering it, and then you send me your offer anyway, now you're just pissing me off. So just send it for the love of all things holy.
And not that any of that gets through to the seller because it's dumb, but that's you pissing me. I get pissed off all the time. So trust me.
Yeah, just the whole trying. And I am not saying not to call the other side and have a conversation before you send an offer.
What's most important to the seller? Like crafting your best offer is important as a buyer's agent. That's part of the value your buyers get. Here's the part that I think maybe they really don't understand, right? Because this would be the only part that to me why you would continue to ask that question is if you haven't accepted this fact that your buyer is paying you regardless of where the cash comes from. Like, I don't think buyer's agents understand that and it's because of the way we used to do it. Buyers have been, this is the reason why we settled the lawsuit, because there is a legitimate legal argument that buyers have been paying for buyer's agent commission since it began.
Right.
It was just baked into
It's
the
in the
value of a
price.
house.
Right.
So regardless of where you put it on the paperwork, your buyer's still paying for
Right.
it.
Right.
We're going to boggle your mind
think
one more, people. Not only was your buyer paying for it, they're paying for it in their loan. So you're getting a 3%, whatever it is, $10,000 check. Do you know how much your buyer actually pays over 30 years on that $10,000 that went into your pocket? It's a hell of a lot more than $10,000.
Right.
And then everybody was like, I don't understand why people are so upset about the fact that they didn't feel like they could negotiate that.
People just don't follow it all the way through.
People don't think.
Yeah.
They just do what they're told.
But yeah, so stop asking.
It's not necessary. I mean, it's dumb. Decide what your value is and move on with your life. So
that's it. That's all. That's all I got this week.
oh, that's a great lesson. I didn't know people were still talking about that.
aren't.
Stop
Not-
it.
not
Stop
everybody.
it. Just stop it. What the floop?
What the floop?
What the floop is this shit about? So I got Realtors, we have our pack and we have our call to action. So I got a text message the other day that says the city of Wentzville has introduced legislation that is banning, apparently. So
It was in a meeting we were at. Somebody
what
came to the
the
meeting to tell us to come.
floop.
They asked us to come to the meeting.
It's so mind-boggling. My brain can't even put it together in a story. So there's legislation on the books already that allows realtors specifically to put out what we call directional signage. So on the corner of a street, you have an open house this way or a for sale this way or whatever. And so a couple of the aldermen in Wentzville have introduced a bill or a motion to remove that legislation from the book. So it's effectively banning directional signage. Still can put a for sale sign in the yard. And these people think that their business is going to fail.
I know.
Because they're not going to be able to put out. Like, this
so
dramatic.
Okay, now be careful here because there are friends of ours posting.
I know.
So,
and I love them dearly, but like I want to scream from the mountaintop. When was the last time we put out a directional sign?
I don't know why. I don't. Okay.
Wait, answer my question. Do you even remember?
Well, what? Okay, let's go back into the old days.
It was
what
that
was the reason?
long ago.
What was the reason you put out a directional?
Because you wanted to increase your visibility.
Because what did not exist?
The internets.
And
Zillow,
and
Realtor.com, the MLS home portal, GPS,
Maps, Google Maps.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but people are really worried and upset and rallying the troops. And I think, why do you care?
Why do they care? They think they're not going to be able to sell a house.
No, I mean, I don't know. And I'm on the older side. I don't see a sign and go, oh, I should go. Even at garage sales, I don't garage sale. But when I did garage sale back in the old days, you got out the newspaper and you circled who was having it. Or you
and now they have Facebook groups with digital maps, Google Maps. Like when we host or sponsor a subdivision garage sale, we put together a Google map specifically for the garage sales. So you just pin the locations and then it tells you where to go.
Now, for open houses, there's so many things that you can do because you're obviously trying to drive traffic. So you can do it on the internet. We do a lot of things to invite the neighbors and to do all those things. But I know when I see that poor realtor at the end of the day in her high heels and going down like 17 streets to pull her signs, I think, bless her heart. How many people do you think came because they saw that sign? It is definitely what the flu. But I have refrained from
I know.
commenting on anybody's Facebook
Because we love
they've
you.
taken it up as like a
It's
charge, and we've moved past it. People,
I'm at people, yeah, they've been saying to me, I was actually moderating the conversation where it was brought up at the association. It was at an event that I was moderating, and I'm gonna tell you, my tongue was bleeding because I'm like, I shouldn't have an opinion publicly
No.
in this setting
well, I
about
kept thinking
this.
I'm missing something.
But-
that's what I kept thinking because they were all like pitchforks and
Yeah, I think that I honestly,
into
if
the
you want my
meeting.
honest opinion, I think that the alderman that brought it up doesn't like the other alderman.
maybe.
And he's throwing his political weight around to squash it just to prove that he's in control of the board.
You know where I put my signs if I'm doing an open house? All in the same yard.
The house.
Just to make it obnoxious, but
And that's like, if they were banning for sale signs, I would maybe have a feeling about that.
Oh,
Not because I don't think I'm going to be able to sell the house if I can't put a sign in the yard, because I think that 99.5%, if not 99.9% of people find the house that they're going to buy online. I think that's a well-documented and proven
Right.
stat. Nobody drives for dollars anymore.
well, it's not. Yeah, driving for dollars is different.
Like-
You're looking for abandoned houses.
You're
not
right,
houses
but I'm
for
just saying,
sale.
like, nobody drives around looking for sale signs in
No.
yards to find the house of their
you
dreams.
might occasionally drive by and be like, "Oh, look, that's for sale. We should go see it."
Maybe.
Right.
But you're still going to sell the house one way or the other, whether you
Sure.
have a sign in the yard or not. Now, what has happened to me is I'm driving to show a house, and there's no sign in the yard, and I try to go in the wrong house, and I get very confused because I can't find the Supra and whatever. So, like,
This
in
is the
my
person who
head,
doesn't show houses.
I know, it's the few times that I've
Right.
done it, but
oh no,
in
I
my
want the sign in the
head,
yard.
I put a sign in the yard just so other realtors know they're at the right house.
Well, it happened when I was taking you and Mikey to see a house. 2 houses side by side were for sale. I went to the wrong one. I saw the first sign. I pulled in. Luckily,
Right.
you had already seen the house and you were going for a second
So
showing.
I was like, that's
and
not
you
the
pulled into
house.
the-
What
I-
you doing over there?
I would have opened the Supra probably.
Yeah, I don't think directional signs on the corners
No,
make one iota of a difference.
it's not the battle to fight.
I don't
this
like
week.
seriously. The city of Wentzville doesn't have any other larger issues going on.
Maybe
It's
not.
a great place to live. If that is your biggest issue in the city of
Well,
Wentzville,
something else
that is
yeah.
a great place to live.
And I don't think it's real estate signs, is it? It's all those signs. It's the political signs too.
I no, I think it's
It's
specifically
just our signs.
yeah.
Because I know when we used to put signs
I think
out.
the target is home builders. If I'm being honest with you, I don't even think it really has to do with. 'cause
Yeah. They put
honestly-
out 1,000 of them
right.
on the same
I don't even on the
block.
same corner. Like
Right.
there'll be 7 of the same signs in a
attention,
row, and like so. I think that's actually the like center of
which
it.
again, that's obnoxious. It is.
It is, and I would
for the
prefer
city
not to see
people
it
who have
either.
to cut the grass around that or do
Here's
whatever
an
they
idea,
do.
home builders. Play nice with realtors. Stop screwing us, and then maybe you wouldn't have to put out 7 signs down
we
the
see your
corner of the
billboard
street.
too. You got your
Oh,
billboard.
right. Like, thanks. You know, we have clients that would buy your house if you were a little bit nice. That's all I'm saying. I kind of feel like we should be banning the directional signs to stick it to the home builders a little bit.
And that is Chad's opinion only. And he does not agree with that.
Controversially, I'm just saying. Anyways, I don't think I care whether the directional signs.
It's not the fight we're fighting.
No, I ain't got time for that.
No.
Don't got time for it.
All right.
Oh, this has been a good one, Annie. You got me a little bit riled up today. I'm not gonna lie.
I enjoy that. I'm not going to lie either.
I know.
So it was fun.
I enjoy it when I get you riled up too. You got a little bit riled up today. I like it when Andy gets riled up.
I get riled up. I just don't want to get riled up on this podcast. So
I don't know why.
I don't either.
People need to know you can get riled up.
Oh, they know.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.